travel back through time and space to Melbourne Musos Face Chook Live. To the edge of man's beginnings, discover a savage world whose only law was lust. 2019 BC. 2019 BC.
Erupts on the screen with volcanic excitement.
2019 BC.
When the earth parted and the mountains fell. Primitive man and monstrous beasts fought each other to inherit the earth. Since time began has the primitive scene been captured for the screen with such imaginative realism. Behold man.
2019 BC.
Introducing the fabulous Raquel Welch, the sensational star discovery of this or any other year in
2019 BC.
See her as Loana the Fair One, who deserted her tribe and risked her life to follow Tumac of the Rock People. John Richardson as Tumac, as big and strong as the beasts he fought for survival. Nupondi the Wild One, whom no man could resist. See the fascinating, strange, and fearful creatures who roamed and ruled the earth.
2019 BC.
The Brontosaurus, a moving mountain of flesh and bone. The pterodactyl, a flying reptile with giant teeth. The flesh-eating Allosaurus. The Triceratops, a horned dinosaur in battle with the savage Ceratosaurus. You will share the unending thrills and excitement of a world of primitive wonders, of primeval terror and savagery. You will indeed live in another world, in another time, as the centuries fall back to reveal the earth.
2019 BC.
Introducing the fabulous Raquel Welch as Loana the Fair One. John Richardson as Tumac.
BC. Coming to you tonight at 6 p.m. on Melbourne Musos Face Chook Live. 2019 BC.
Quinlan, welcome to Melbourne Musos Face Chook Live on a nice little Friday afternoon with a bit of sun. I have a special guest over here, and Mark is behind the cameras here. Bubble buddy mate, who's minding Marley, who I dearly hope will not bark halfway through. Tonight's episode is 2019 BC.
2019 BC. 2019 BC.
Oh, because everyone wants it just like it used to be. Hey, we're all opening up. Oh my Lord. So, without further ado, tonight's lesson is all about being backwards. Where does that come from, you might say? Well, if we're going to play something like... Everybody dance now. Why not do it the other way around? There you go. So I'm going to talk a little bit about these kinds of ancient rhythms in a day that used to, in days gone by, in an epoch.
Erupts on the screen with volcanic excitement. Erupts on the screen with volcanic excitement.
Apparently it's volcanic excitement.
Erupts on the screen with volcanic excitement. Erupts on the screen with volcanic excitement.
Hey! There you go. All right, so what goes on is when we are in
2019 BC.
before COVID, what we would do was actually sit down and sort of do our gig, get our things ready. But what we're going to do tonight is talk about some of these rhythms backwards, if we're going to go backwards in time. All right, so we're going to do things backwards tonight, is what's happening, you see. So what happens is the first thing I'd like to do is actually talk about that. If we're going to sort of go... Now the hi-hat is on 1, you see. So you could think of it like quavers. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 There it is there. See, what goes on is you get that kind of a little bit of a flab happening. That kind of stuff there. So, coming into camera one here. I know that's camera one, but later on that's going to be camera one. So you got a bit of a flab. So you got that kind of thing. So you go. Now what I've got here is my patches, the beautiful African kit. So what you've got here, I'll go back, I won't be so scatterbrained. What's happening is that in 2019 B.C, you get that. So you got that backwards. Double up. And with the last show, I was tending to talk about split rudiments, and what I was doing here, it's a little bit of a flam-tappy kind of thing, but not really, but that's sort of what goes on. And then what goes on with that is that when you're actually working it backwards there, you've got that kind of funky kind of... So if I got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, think of it like 16th notes. there's something there for you. See? So that's what happens there. Now that would normally be thought of as a two feel when you're doing jazz, right? So one. But if you did it back, it's like a kind of a reverse two feel, if you want to think of it like that. So that's what goes on. And what you've got now is when you're dealing with this sort of business, you want to start bringing in some of the classic rhythms, like it's best known as a calypso. But one of the things, one of the great rhythms of Africa is the Soukous rhythm, S-O-U-K-O-U-S. And it really is, for all intents and purposes, they certainly don't call it a calypso rhythm because different continents and stuff. But you put it on the hi-hat, for instance, and then what happens is you play with your bass drum. And you get that open hi-hat sound, that kind of thing. And that comes from... I got the comment a couple of weeks ago. I did take it as a compliment. You're the hi-hat guy. In
2019 B.C.
And what you've got is right, left, right, right, right. Oh, dear. So what you've got is right, left, right, both. Right, left, right, both. Right, left, right, both. Right, left, right, both. Practice it up. Put a single stroke roll in there.
Brontosaurus, a moving mountain of flesh and bone.
In 2019
Pterodactyl,
B.C.
a flying reptile with giant
teeth. Did that fit? Let's see how we go. So what happens is you get that kind of... And that's a bit of a wacky soukous there. What I've done there is I've kept the rhythm going, and then I went into splash hats. Because I'm the hi-hat guy, apparently. Aren't I? Throwing to off camera here. Let me do a deal on hi-hats for you, because I'm the... There you go, you see, so that's that bit there. Now that's a little bit of a thing. So far I've done 2 ostinati for you. Ostinati, ostinatos. 5 fingers and 5 toes. I don't know. So what happens here is that so far I've got the reverse 2 feel. That's 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put in a double and there you go. Then we did the Soukous rhythm, like so. There you go, and that's what happens there. And now I'd like to go into a little bit of compound time for the technically minded. I'm going to go into 6/8. And what we have here is a form of a bembe pattern, which is African in origin. Just about everything's African in origin. There you go. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to essentially play that pattern. It's really just... it's a funny kind of thing because when I go Irish, you know, doing that kind of thing, that ends up being a little bit of a backbone of the Celtic kind of stuff as well. But because we're dealing with, you know, the band that Prog forgot. That's an old thing we did a couple of years ago. But what happens is that if I take the African bell pattern, which is so close to a double paradiddle, you have that, if I did it like so. Or on a cowbell, you don't think. But how about if I did it backwards? I've done that before. Oh, a bit of a rough ending, Chris. Come on, mate. That's what I should have done. I'm going to leave it in. There you go. Ah, damn. And with a hi-hat guy, I'm still laughing at that. You can have a splash, you can have a normal chick. Now, because I've got the bottom type hi-hat there, I've got a little bit of a threshold thing happening here, because if I play it lightly, the hi-hat tambourine does not work. It doesn't come on. So you've got your typical hi-hat sound there. I could splash it, that's fine. But when I play it with a bit more force, there it is. You get that kind of thing, so it really starts to happen. The other things I like to do, seeing it's a tip show, is actually straddle my left shoe against my bass drum. And that's a bit of a bottom secret, is to do it backwards. That kind of thing. Although without the double kick, he didn't have one. Put it in. That's just the left foot. And there you go. You see, so there's that. So it gets quite, you know. There you go, that's what it is. So that's a bembe pattern in 6/8, you see. So you get that, or not that one, sorry, the one before before I went off. And there's that. And then one and two and three and the four and a one and a two and a three. Like that, if I was doing it in triplets, you see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you see. Do people understand that? I was doing the time signatures a few episodes ago. When you're doing triplets, you're in common time, right? 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a. When you go to things like 6/8 and 12/8, it's 6/8 is compound duple time, meaning divisible by 3. So you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it depends on the genre that you're in. We're more used to triplets in 4/4 and things like that. But when you're dealing with different genres and different cultures, they often think of it in a completely different way, that kind of thing. So what happens is instead of it being triplets, it'll be 6/8, like that. So it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2 main beats. So you get it. That's what you got, you see? That's what happens there. And then, of course, with the Sukos rhythm, And when you're actually dealing with that kind doesn't necessarily have to be on the hi-hat, you could be could be like that, you see. Something like that, there you go. You see, so what happens though is that you might think of it like instead of it being 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, you could think of it as 3, 3 and 2. So you could have it like. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, like that. You could have it like that. Depends on what culture you're in, and that is also a dance in the Middle East and even in Greece and places like that, you see, you get that kind of stuff. So it's quite pervasive, that rhythm. Depends on where you are as to what name it is given and how you count it too, you see, that's what goes on. So there you have that. Now everything here, tonight the theme of course is
So mate, are you right for Friday's gig? We're going to do 30 songs.
backwards.
I'll pay you $30.
Let's go backwards in
So mate,
time.
are you right for Friday's gig? We're going to do 30 songs. I'll pay you $30. So mate, are you right for Friday's gig? We're going to do 30 songs. I'll pay you $30.
30 songs for $30, mate.
So mate, are you right for Friday's gig? Mate, I can only afford to pay you $30. I'll pay you $30. Not per person, the whole band. So mate, are you right for Friday's gig? We're going to do 30 songs. I'll pay you $30. So mate, are you right for Friday's gig? We're going to do 30 songs. I'll pay.
We're opening up.
Brontosaurus, a moving mountain of flesh and bone. The pterodactyl, a flying reptile with giant teeth. Brontosaurus, a moving mountain of flesh and bone. The pterodactyl, a flying reptile with giant teeth.
Ooh, backwards. Ooh, there was something there for you. And what goes on now is that I'll start to wrap the show up just a little bit here. And what goes on is I'm really doing things back to front. Okay, so what I've got there is I've got that kind of. And when I'm doing, I'll just recap a few things for you. So what happens is when I'm playing, say, that is normally a 2-feel, but it's reversed, it's backwards. We've gone backwards in time. That kind of thing there. And then when you're doing the bembe pattern, the usual thing is the Afro, what am I talking about? Sort of thing, the African bell pattern. But what happens if I do it backwards? And so it goes like that, you see. There it is there. What are we going to put on now? Oh, my Lord.
Wait, the kid again.
The Triceratops, a horned dinosaur in battle with the savage Ceratosaurus. You will share the unending thrills and excitement of a world of primitive wonders, of primeval terror and savagery. You will indeed live in another world, in another time, as the centuries fall back to reveal the Earth.
2019 BC.
29. Oh, I can't. My teeth, with big teeth, I can't get them working. 2019 BC. There you have it, you see. So what I'm going to do is go away with some back in time editing cordial and piece this show together. And it's backwards, you see, backwards. Now, don't forget, it's not far off the mark. If we're actually going to do things like a Bonham kind of deal, oh, take these off for a second, like. That's got the lead. It's backwards, mate, backwards. Backwards. All backwards, mate. So I shall love and leave you. Don't get bit by a dinosaur, because that's what used to happen in
2019 BC.
Oh. Hey. Oh, thunder. And then there you go. I'm going to leave you now. And this shall be up tomorrow. And then on Channel 31 the week after, because I've got, dare I say it, this will probably be show 801. And I did a double episode last week for show 800. And so part 2 will be on beloved Channel 31 on Wednesday at 10 p.m. And so this will be up probably the week after. Unless something happens in the good old politics. I'll put it on the blue screen. Lobster with the mobster. Lobster with the mobster. The Ipecac hearings. And there you have it. All right, I'm out of here. Here we go, a bit more. Oh my Lord. What's going on? Hey.
2019 BC.
Oh.
Mate, I can only afford to
Oh, I'm out of here. Hey, I'm going to have a glass of beer.
The whole band.
Not since time began.
2019 BC.
Time began.
With such imaginative realism.
Realism. Oh.
Behold man.
2019 BC.
BC. 2019 BC. Oh.
2019 BC. 2019